It is 10 a.m. here on the East Coast in the US. So I'd say let's go ahead and get started. A very warm welcome to everyone here attending our free webinar today with COAR Science. COAR Science is one of our DSpace Platinum service providers. And today's webinar is entitled DSpace and DSpace-CRIS, One Application, Multiple Domains. My name is Holger Lenz. I am the DSpace Program Coordinator. I will not be presenting today. I will hand off the microphone in just a minute to my colleagues here. But just a couple of housekeeping items for everyone to know. So the presentation will be about 45 minutes today. And then after that, we'll have about 15 minutes for questions. As you may just have heard, if you joined the webinar early, the recording started as well. So this is a recorded session, and it will be made available to the DSpace community after the webinar. For the question and answer part, you do not have the ability to unmute yourself, and we have also disabled the chat, but you do have on the bottom of your screen in the Zoom window the little Q&A icon here. So if you have a question, please click on that and please use that Q&A feature within Zoom. And that helps us then to organize the questions and to go through them later in an organized way. All right. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand over the microphone to Federico from COAR Science.
Thank you, Holger, for the introduction, and very excited for this session in collaboration with Lyrasis. And my name is Federico. I'm a business developer at COAR Science, and I'm based in our office in Kansas City, so US Central Time. And with me today, the main presenter will be Jordan, that he will be presenting and also demonstrating live some of the things that we will talk about today. But to start, just a brief introduction about COAR Science, just for the people that doesn't know who we are. We will just go through a few slides. As Holger mentioned, we are DSpace Platinum certified providers. We are the lead contributors to the DSpace community. And our team has more than 20 years of experience with DSpace. We have more than 100 clients worldwide with more than 200 projects completed. So our team has an extensive experience with DSpace. Next slide. We, of course, provide different type of services, from institutional repositories, digital cultural platforms, hosting and maintenance, consulting, customization, and training. And our team, of course, is ready to support any type of institution with any type of project related to DSpace. We also understand that every institution have different needs and requirements, and that's also why we developed a Make It Open campaign throughout our add-on modules. So we develop different type of modules that can be added on top of your DSpace instance, such as the FFF image viewer, document viewer, OCR, audio video streaming, analytics and reporting, UX plus, data quality, content and user statistics, and network lab. And you can also learn more about those throughout our website at forscience.com. Next, so we also are one of the certified providers of DSpace with the highest number of certifications. One of the major certifications is the ISO 27001. We're also ORCID certified service providers, CSA trusted cloud providers, AWS partners, DataCite service providers. So our number of certifications are able to give a very high standards for the solutions that we provide. Of course, our commitment to open source solutions goes beyond the partnership with the DSpace, and we also collaborate with many different type of institutions, such as OpenAir, EuroCRIS. We've been working with COAR for the Notify project, IIIF. So we've been involved for many years with many different type of partnerships and collaborations to strategically improve the open source and open science framework with DSpace. So that was just a short introduction. I'll leave the floor to Jordan that will explain a little bit more what we will talk about today in this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Federico, and thank you all of the participants that are here to hear what we will present today. It's my pleasure to present what's going on in this space and also in this DSpace-CRIS. So I would like to start with the agenda, where we will talk about the DSpace ecosystem and interoperability, and the main functions that were released in DSpace, starting from DSpace-8 about the publication claim, and whatever is assumed with the quality assurance, the request withdrawal or reinstatement, and OpenAir data correction and COAR Notify protocol. Let me say, it's thanks to this funded initiative by California Digital Library or OpenAir or COAR, we have these functionalities inserted in DSpace-8. And this is also a great thing about our DSpace community. Let me say that I am 20 years in this community because I started earlier with the first DSpace installations in my university, where I started my experience with DSpace 1.4, and I see how this community grow in installations, but also in functionality. And it's really something great that is growing, and thanks also because of this integration, interoperability with all these also systems and institutions. So, talking about interoperability, let me say, we started in 2006 with OAI-PMH protocol. Was a revolution in this time for repositories were collecting informations of institutions. This protocol helped that all this kind of material could be disseminated in the world. In the last year, we know with DSpace-7, we go to a modern protocol, to a modern infrastructure using REST API. And the last thing that we are implementing, that was implementing, and I think that this is an evolution starting from OAI-PMH to COAR Notify protocol. Here are all the systems that now DSpace also interoperate. So with OpenAir, with DataCite, EuroCRIS because of the serif data model, now also with COAR, IIIF. And thanks to what? Thanks also to this persistent identifier, DOI, ROR, ORCID, or also the, let me say, the old one handle. Starting from ROR, Research Organization Registry integration is one of the last things that were integrated in DSpace. And this is something that is quite useful for all the institutions that go to DSpace and, for example, would like also to use the entities and integrate them. Only to show you how this works, I go to my DSpace. This is the DSpace demo. Probably that Let's restart it and log in. My presentation would like to be more interactive as possible to show you not only slides, but also effective functionalities that I was talking in an agenda. So, for example, ROR. We have the possibility to input from ROR, for example, LYRASIS as an organizational unit. Here we have a preview so that this show you how would you like the metadata that are getting automatically from the ROR registry, and I could start to submit this in our DSpace system. Okay, now you have all the information already filled in. I have to browse and get inside. Okay, I have no logo, LYRASIS. Let me put this, deposit the license, and here we are. And we have our organizational unit in our DSpace system. Okay, and here we are. This is a quick example how integration with external system is very useful for our institutions. Going further, this integration is also useful for all members, for example, that use ORCID. This is a sample, let me say, I am also contributing, I am working as a business analyst at For Science, but I remain also contributing to my university where all this, my adventure with DSpace started. And it is useful for all members of ORCID that could also on the ORCID side dashboard get all the information, who is connected, what's going on, and which records are updated. So also the integration between DSpace in these systems is very useful because you could have with these dashboards very interesting view of what's going on, for example, on ORCID side. Another integration that I could talk about is that we are working now also with COAR dashboard that is collecting informations about and harvesting our system. And this is something that we are now studying how to integrate, and everybody who would like to do a pilot test could contact COAR or us from For Science, and it will be fine to start some pilot projects, because with this kind of pilot project, our adventure, for example, with OpenAIR started. In fact, at our university at Trieste, I has been part of a pilot project integrating OpenAIR and their dashboard in DSpace with the notification broker, and this evolved in what now we have actually in DSpace with the integration of OpenAIR. So, because of all the integrations with all the OpenAIR guidelines, we have the possibility to be part of the great infrastructure of OpenAIR. This is only a sample how OpenAIR is working. It collects from the provider. We become our repository, our DSpace repositories, and also other type of repositories registered in the provide dashboard became a data source, or let me say a knowledge base, because now in the AI era, all our repositories are becoming really knowledge base where, for example, OpenAir collects all metadata, all information about our bitstreams, our files that are collected, but it's also integrate, as you see here, from ORCID, DataCite, Crossref, PubMed, all kind of information, unpaywall, DOIJ, and aggregate all this information, enrich the duplicate, enrich by inference, and finally, we have all this information available through OpenAir Graph. Interfacing then with OpenAir Graph, with all these services, we, as provider of information, could get enrichments that came from OpenAir Graph and could help also our repositories to become richer and more qualified with data. In fact, for example, as you see here, I registered my institutional repository at the University of Trieste, and that collects all the data in the provider, and I will show you briefly how this is also managed on this OpenAir dashboard. Here is the OpenAir Provide dashboard, where you could manage your repository, updating all the information that it has, defining the type of software that you are using, managing the endpoints, for example, the interfaces that then OpenAir uses, but you have also the information how OpenAir is collecting all your data, because you have this information, how many records were collected, transformed, and as you see, completely successfully harvested. But the main point is here, the enrichments that OpenAir could give you back. Because collecting all your data, as I said, looking at this schema that I show you, it enriches all the data that it has and arises from various sources and give you back. And this kind of information could be enriched in your repository. How it works, I will show you briefly. I will start here from the first feature that we have in DSpace, and is called publication claim. What does it mean, a publication claim? A publication claim is this. I will start, for example, defining a new person. I will get it out from ORCID. I am looking for our Andrea Bollini, because it has many publications more than me. I am inserting this data. Okay, I have also to upload the file. I have to confirm the deposit license, obviously. Deposit. Okay, here we are. I have now the personal profile. I have only to check one thing, because these functionalities are here under public notifications and publication claim. Publication claim, I have already done a test with my person, but as you see, I have only one suggestion. I would like to see what's going on, and I would like to show you all the procedure with Andrea. I have to only check one thing, that it's not correctly configured in every DSpace. I'm using this demo. The important things, and is only a matter of configuration, that for this functionality of claim, you have to fill in correctly also the visit title of the person. That I see that now it wasn't filled automatically with the import. Okay, here we are. Then I have to get his UID, copy it, and the procedure is a process that could be obviously automatically inserted in cron, but I am showing you how this is working manually. There is a script, OpenAir suggestions. These are OpenAir suggestions. Add a parameter. Without a parameter, it get all the suggestions of all your researchers, persons that are created in your DSpace. I would like to show you only briefly this on Andrea. The process started. Let's see. It's running. So this is interacting with OpenAir Graph. Okay, is querying the publication REST API on OpenAir based on the person that I am getting out here. So going to name publication claim. Okay, here we are. And as you see, Andrea has much more suggestions of publication that could be imported automatically in the system. Okay, here is the list of all the publication that DSpace get from OpenAir Graph querying Andrea Bollini. There is also a score. What the score mean? The score get if author Bollini Andrea, as you see here, is in the string of the authors, is one of the authors, okay? And gives you also this kind of details, as you see, okay? Here are also give you the detail that Andrea is at the third position between the authors, as you see. Then you could decide to improve and import, for example, this publication, and I will show you how, or ignore this suggestion. There is also a data scorer. What data scorer mean? I will show you briefly with my person. Now I could import this publication in articles, and here we are. You have now the publication that could be imported. I would like to show you now the difference of claiming between Andrea and I, because I have a greater score. What does it mean? This is also a date score because it checks if I am author in this publication, but it gets also if there is a publication date in the range of my life. Why? Because, for example, I fill in also my birth date, okay? If you have this kind of information, there is a double check also to get this information. And this was the publication claim. So a process that could be run obviously also in cron that gets information from DSpace, from OpenAir Graph. Let's go to the next functionality. Data correction. The data correction is working as I was talking with the integration of browser, let me say, of OpenAir broker. Is a service that, as you see in this dashboard, you as a repository manager that is registered in the OpenAir provide dashboard could decide to get this kind of information. Is it simply as this? That you go to the dashboard, select, for example, that you are interested if there are, for example, more persistent identifier that are found in the system that could be useful for your publications, and subscribe to these events. This gives you from one side emails that monthly give you information that you could go to the dashboard and see if there are more data, more PIDs, okay? But as you see, going to the dashboard and checking this, it's quite a huge work. You have filters, you have also possibility. Actually, OpenAir is not giving you a download of this. You have to use the REST API to download this data. But the great thing is, and I will show you here because I activated this on our repository. The great thing is that is integrated here with the quality assurance and the OpenAir integration. So this information you could get and check directly on your system, directly in your DSpace. And this is a great value because you could check, for example, what did OpenAir suggest you. Here is only a subsample that I prepared, but I will show you now how this also works. Is the same concept as we do previously. There is a process, an OpenAir import event, where if I do the same thing, you could get or a file that you download from the OpenAir API with the rest. I will show you only briefly. I am getting another one, okay? Or directly by email. And this, I think, for a repository manager is something that is more useful because you use your email, for example, that is used here in the OpenAI provide dashboard, and it gets automatically all this information to you with the email, okay? Let me do this thing with the file to have only a subsample, okay? And it's only of running a new process that could be obviously also done in cron, okay? And here it finished. I go to quality assurance, and as you see, now I have more information. To show you what does it mean, for example, here I find that there is a missing abstract. The system gives me which publication, okay, is missing this abstract. I could have, oh, but that way. Let's, okay. Here is this publication. In fact, it has no abstract, and it gives me the possibility to enrich the missing abstract. I could accept the suggestion. Let's go here, reload, and here we are. We have the abstract, okay? This is the great value of this kind of functionality, because you, as a repository manager, directly in your DSpace that are used to manage you could use all the information that arrive from this dashboard. Another example, a missing PID could be useful. Okay, DOI, but I think that this DOI, the importance is that it gives you also from which source it gets this DOI. But I think let's do a double check that it's not our. Okay, have some network troubles, but here we are. No, I'm quite sure that this is something else, so I could ignore or reject. Rejecting is go back to OpenAir saying, no, this is not the right value, and I reject the suggestion. So that also OpenAir get this information that it was not the correct one. Let's see, this bits. Oh, curious for something interesting. I have a PubMed ID. Let's go and do a double check for PubMed ID. Okay, this is the article published on PubMed. Let's check with our. Okay, okay, this is a doctoral thesis that I am aware that was also published. Why not? So I could decide to accept this suggestion. And as I said previously, let's reload the page. And here we are. I have the record enriched with the PubMed ID. Going further, there are other possibilities to enrich authors, open access versions, project, and so on. But I go further because the time is going on. This was the data correction. As I said, it came from OpenAI provide dashboard. Okay, I already show you this. Okay. Request withdrawal or reinstatement. Let's go back to our DSpace-8 and say, for example, that I go back here. I'm not sure that Andrea is the right person to be archived here. I have the possibility to request a withdrawal for this item and say, I am not sure that the researcher is one of our institutional and require withdrawing. Okay. And here I could then, as administrator, let me say I am the same person, but this would be done, for example, from another user in the DSpace system that, for example, a library manager that is managing the data quality. I, as a repository manager, I could see what's going on. That here I see from whom the request was done, and also the reason. And I could accept the suggestion. So with this action, I withdraw automatically this user, this person, ignore or reject, okay? And obviously all these kind of actions are also notified to the person that requested the information. Let me accept the suggestions only to show you, okay, that now the this item that is a person is withdrawn, okay? I could double check in a private window, but here we are. I have the possibility now to ask, no, this was a fault. Turn it back public. And in the same way, I have here a suggestion that I have to manage. I know we are talking about whom, the reason, and as I said the suggestion, the record became public. Okay? And this is all about this functionality. Final one, COAR Notify protocol. This is something, I think, very challenging for our community, because I think that it could be the next protocol, the killing one, that could give us the possibility of more and quicker integration between our systems. Not only DSpace, because as OAI-PMH is a standard protocol that could be managed in many systems, and interlinking is based on a simple fact that linked data notification messages are only messages that are exchanged between various systems. To do what? I will show you what's going on here. So this is only a brief technical schema to understand what's going on. An example, all started from DSpace that would like to link a dataset would like to link a publication with a dataset, for example, that is deposited in Dataverse. It checks if there is a consumer, that checks if something automatically could be triggered, and say, throw a message to Dataverse saying, hello, I have a publication that uses your dataset. Could we link this dataset back to DSpace? Okay. The fact is, we are interchanging messages about items that DSpace has and Dataverse has. The goal is to link them together, and the publication remain in my repository, the dataset remain in Dataverse. No, for example, when we are harvesting some information that came to our repository, but all the items remain in the source system, but they are linked together. Something reverse could be that Dataverse would like to link its dataset with a DSpace publication. So it's announcing, I have a dataset that is described by a paper that you hold. The same thing is going on because Dataverse sends a message to the inbox controller. It checks if Dataverse is trusted for this kind of things. And similar things could be done also between DSpace systems, between DSpace as a sender and DSpace as a receiver. I'm going quickly because I see that time is going very fast, but I would like to show you also what's going on under the hood concrete. The next step will be DSpace integrate with other external services like peer communities for reviewing or for endorsing papers, for example. And let's go with the correct demo so that I will show you what does it mean. I configured here, just a moment that I close other. Okay. Here is the source repository, is DSpace-CRIS 8, where I have to do what? let me say, all the DSpace-8 installations came with default COAR Notify protocol configured. And this is the logo that says that this DSpace is enabled with this protocol. It describes the protocol, but the important thing, it describes the LDN, the inbox where messages has to be sent. And here are the URL, because you have this dashboard where you configure the service, okay? You have to do what? Give a name to the service that you would like to interact with. The service URL, the level of trust that you would like to trust this system. You could restrict with some IP ranges, but this is the information that I find, for example, in this repository. In fact, it's only a matter of copy and paste of this information in my source system, okay? And then there are patterns and called patterns in the protocol that I could enable. The relationship is the simple one that I would like to show you, that announces the relationship between an item in my DSpace and an item in this DSpace. So as we see, the sender and receiver. There are more other patterns that could be eventually also filtered, because you could filter that only items that have a bitstream are public, site starts with a pattern, or only on dataset, on journal articles. All this kind of thing could be, as we say, it's a matter of configuration. Let's do now a test. I have to start a new submission. No, let me say, I start here getting the data set that I would like to link. Here is a data set, and I have, let me say, this is a data set that is useful for my publication. So I will start to submit a publication. Article with data set from, I am calling the other repository OS8. Okay, I'm quickly completing this, but the important thing is that related source. Related, no, is not this. I have to copy this. This is the link of my dataset that I would like to link to my publication. Upload the file. Let's get the test PDF. Confirm and deposit. What I missed. Because I already do this kind of things, and this is no. Obviously, something's missing. Journal article. Okay, deposit. Here we are. And now on the dashboard, I see that there is a message that is in the queue. What does it mean? This source, DSpace, is announcing that would like to link dataset that is on other side. Okay, this is the message that is sent to the final target DSpace, and there is a queue that is that has a timing. Let's see if we real time. Yes, Let's go to the other side, and here we are, and we would like to look here on our dashboard. Okay. What's going on? I load. This, no, it's not arrived. It's still not right, but let me check if is the time that the messages are starting from one side to other, because it's sent here. Okay, let's see if no, but I could show you, for example, what I already done, because these are samples that I do this morning. And for example, this is the message that arrives on the other side, that is talking that the origin, okay, the other DSpace, this DSpace that send me the message right here, and now I have to accept it. Okay, let's see if the message arrived, but if it doesn't arrive, I could show you the result, because for example, the result was here. Excuse me, my DSpace. Here it is, the test that I do. So this is the test that I do this morning, where I ask the other, this is a publication, okay, and I ask the other repository to link, to give me the permission to link to this dataset. This is another dataset. And here you see the link that then was confirmed by repository manager, that this dataset is supplemented by the publication that is on the other side. Okay? I go quicker because I see that the time is already going on, but this is briefly what COAR Notify could provide you. Okay? These are the slides of what's going on. And these are, for example, the filters. There are simple configurations, and all the documentation is on our LYRASIS DSpace documentation. I will stop here because I'm not aware if there are questions.
Please feel free to share your questions in the Q&A section. If you want, you can type them right now, and we will proceed to moderate everything.
I see that Team Valente has a hand raised. Raise his hand. If Team, you have a question, feel free to type it in the Q&A.
Yeah, I don't know if we can enable the mics, but I think it's better. Okay, no question. Thank you for the presentation. It was useful.
So we can allow people to talk. If Tim wants to ask a question, I can allow him to do that. Let's see if this works. Okay. I just asked Tim to unmute.
I'm showing you also the interesting things about the COAR Notify protocol, and to show you that is an ecosystem that is start growing. Because last year, as I remember, there were some of these, as you see, DSpace, Dataverse, the peer community, but as you see here, there are other services, other systems that are starting using this protocol. So the interactions, I think that will grow in the next years, especially because, as I said, as OAI-PMH was a standard protocol out of the box with the first DSpace 1.4 that I remember, now with starting with DSpace-8, also COAR Notify is a standard out of the box enabled protocol.
So I guess you kind of already answered the question that someone just wrote in the Q&A that says, are these features now considered core? And so they're added to every new implementation in DSpace-8.
No, let me say, all this functionality that I show you are out of the box enabled in DSpace, starting from DSpace-8, okay? Quality assurance, the publication claim. The importance is, as I said, the ecosystem that, and especially repository managers that could, for example, go to OpenAI provider, or for example, with ORCID interactions, or now, let me do something new. We are testing with DSpace-9 also OpenAlex integration that is based on the same quality assurance and publication claim functionalities. So it's something that is now part of DSpace-8 and further. For example, as I said, the integration with OpenAlex is now, I see we are testing in DSpace-9, okay? And as soon as with all the functionality will be finalized, it will be also backported to DSpace-8 and 7. Because this is something that is already part of the core of DSpace, the quality assurance and publication claim framework. Okay? Here you see, for example, OpenAlex and OpenAI. Okay? This could be provider, okay? Provider of enrichments and informations that are collected out from our sources, enriched with all the community, but not also the space community. We have an international, as you see here in COAR Notify, of systems that could enrich our research domain, let me say, and scholarly domain.
Any other questions? We still have 7 minutes left in the hour, so don't be shy. Feel free to ask any questions if you have any.
And if you want, we can also enable your mic. In this case, just raise your hand. If there are no questions, I think that Jordan was truly clear and we covered all aspects in this sense. Okay, thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us for this webinar. And if the presentation will be online later, we have recorded it and we are planning to post it online. We will work on a timeline on how to post it, when to post it, and where to post it so that you can watch it later on online as well.
Obviously, if you need
only to finish, because obviously there was only a question of time. As you see here, the notification arrived, and here is also the notification of what's going on with, so that I demonstrate that all is working. And as I show you for the other quality assurance functionality, you could accept the suggestion of linking the dataset with the publications, or ignore or reject, so that the message came back. And all these notifications, as you see here, are collected in your DSpace. So I think that here we have the full image of all the new quality assurance functionalities that, from my perspective, also as a repository manager, could help the repository manager to enrich in a quick way, okay, the quality of the repository.
Perfect. If you have any other questions afterwards, don't hesitate to contact us at info@forscience.com or our multiple resources through the DSpace community and all the different DSpace groups. Thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you in the next webinar.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.